Heyo, it's Keyoh from 48, and I'm back bringing you guys our first League of Legends gameplay. Yes, it is an Ekko support gameplay. Now I'm just going to put out a disclaimer right away. I do not recommend playing Ekko support unless you are really, really good with Ekko and really, really good at support. If you're not, it's not really going to work out in your favor unless you have a very good matchup, which I believe I had a pretty decent one. This game is a little weird. It's not really a meta picks. There was a Cassiopeia support. I don't know. It's tough to say. This was like a mid to high bronze level gameplay. I'll give you guys my League of Legends history in just a couple minutes. First, I want to talk about what's been going on and a very serious problem in our community that sort of crept its way into Forever Alpha. Something we should have saw coming, but hasn't yet. This problem is very serious. It's really, to be honest, guys, it is throughout our world, and especially in our youth. And it has crept its way into one of the founders of 4EA, someone you know by the name of B-Card TBE. And what has happened here is a very serious case of procrastination. Now, I'm going to start off by saying I'm not perfect, and I am not one to plan ahead. I can't say I like it, but I procrastinate more than others. I did all the way through school. I still do to this day. I'm very big at procrastinating. But B. Clark has procrastinated his way to missing 2 video updates, or video uploads, I should say. He did not release one Saturday, which is his day to release. And then we tried to convince him to release one Monday, and he did not release it Monday either. Now, part of this was excusable, as the fact that when he does come down from college, come back home, he is coming back to a computerless area. He brings his PlayStation, and that is it when he comes for the weekends. So that is understandable that he was not able to make a video. However, procrastination is the problem, not the fact that he doesn't make videos. So let's talk more. Actually, let's not talk more about procrastination because we don't need to. Just a little heads up. B. Clark will be getting videos back up, and we all will be. That sort of segues into what else I wanted to talk about. We at 4EA have been going through a lot of changes. Me personally, I've been going through a lot of work changes and a lot of sort of family things going on. So I have been off the ball and been missing a couple things here and there. We did not get our video up Monday. That was also due to the fact that Nate had something going on, and I think he went to a Mariners game Monday, or maybe he went Tuesday. I don't know. We missed our Monday upload. We are terribly sorry. This gameplay was actually what was supposed to go up Monday, and we were all supposed to talk about our League of Legends history, but we did not. So I'm very sorry about that. Now we are going to get back into the gameplay, talk sort of about what's going on, and just give my League of Legends history. First off, I want to talk about sort of the play that's about to come up here. It's probably about another 30 seconds out. So I just want to talk about sort of what is League of Legends in a nutshell for those of you that may not know exactly what League of Legends is. Actually, we're going to miss it because right here is the first action. Never mind. So League of Legends is a MOBA, multiplayer online battle arena. It is essentially a 3-lane map, well, Summoner's Rift is, where you battle with champions to try to take down these towers and other champions and kills to win the game. As you'll see right here, I'm going in with Ekko. We do get the first blood out of it. I probably could have gave it to Lucian, but I just went Amboni on him and sort of just took the kill. Now, that is not a KS, or technically is a KS, which is not a kill steal, it is a kill secured. So remember that. That is a key term. KS is not kill steal, it is kill secured. Because if he gets away, then then no one gets the kill. So we want to get a kill. So kill secured is the best way to go. Anyways, let's branch out and talk a little bit more about League of Legends, my gameplay, all of that fun stuff for you guys. This was just one night, late at night. I wanted to play Ekko really bad, and I did not want to queue up for mid support or mid jungle top, where else, the other places I could play him. I really just wanted to give this Ekko support thing a try. I did try it a little bit more when I was working with my Smurf accounts for B. Clark and Derek when they were learning the game. I did play some Ekko support, just sort of to snowball the game from that lane. But not a legit true support Ekko build, and that is what I was going for this game. I went like to a bruiser build. I started Relic, and you can watch my build. I didn't really get too far in it because this game's pretty short. I think it's like a 22-minute game, But yeah, so anyways, back to the main focus of this is League of Legends. This is our first League of Legends gameplay. And I just wanted to talk a little bit to you guys about my history of League of Legends, more in depth than my gaming history video. And then I want to talk to you guys about some more personal history about me, just some stuff that I want to get out there into the channel. And then we'll wrap it up by cutting in occasionally to talk more about the gameplay and certain plays I make. But yeah, that's about it. It's as simple as that. It's gonna be a little bit lengthier of a video, but a lot of content in here. I want to talk to you guys about a lot of stuff I have to talk about today. So let's just get right into it. Now I'm gonna cut right into what's going on here. Lucian was killed. I did land the double stun. Throws out Casta's flash. Now I noted that, and then I get the kill on Twitch. That makes it worth in the end. And fortunately enough, the minions aren't focusing me because we have a fat wave right here. So I do get out of this with my life as Cass is forced to back up and back, as you can see on the map there. And then I am able to back, as I did already. The only stats I had was my sight stone. So just that stun combined with the raw base damage of Ekko was enough to make that play. Something I want to touch on really quick is the new buffs to Ekko on his movement speed and whatever else it was. Made him sort of a contested pick in pro play, as far as, you know, he should be banned or pick almost every time. And I've seen it a lot in the dynamic queues, I think that's what they're calling it. What used to be the draft mode, it might still be called draft mode. But he has been getting picked and banned a lot. Almost every game I've seen a pick or ban on him. Mainly because if he is up, I am going to pick him, and if he's not up, then he would ban. So yay. Anyway, so I see nerfs in his future, in his very near future, if not next patch, then the patch after that. And I'm not a game balancing person. I don't go into the deep stats of the game or anything like that. So I'm just going to make it very simple. Here's another kill, actually. This is just overextension on Cass's part. And I was able to get the stun on her and allow Lucian to get the kill on it. So that's where the snowball begins. As you see, it's 5-1. This game just turns into a total snowball for us, as everybody's sort of doing their job across the board. Back to what I was saying, though. I don't know anything about the game balancing and all that stuff, but just from a player's point of view and someone that spent quite a bit of time on Ekko recently, I want to point out what I think is going to be nerfed on him. That's if they decide. I really, fingers crossed, they don't nerf him, but they probably will. So let's talk about, or they'll probably buff other champions around him. I don't know what they're doing, but if they do nerf him, what do I see being nerfed? Well, it's pretty basic. You're not going to nerf his AP scaling because it's not amazing and it's not through the roof. It's pretty basic AP scaling. I mean, I don't know what the exact numbers on it are, but Ekko doesn't rely straight AP to get really damage oriented. He's more of a hybrid builder. When you see him come out of the top or the jungle, really you see him hybrid build. Mid, you usually see him pretty AP oriented, but that's because they're playing more of an assassin Ekko type. Here I'm playing straight bruiser Ekko, so you will not see I don't think you see anything except for Zeke's, like he's my second item, and that's really the only item that I get that has AP with it. And I'm still doing sort of an insane amount of damage on him. So that leads me to just talk about sort of what is the only thing I see that they could nerf on him, because they're not going to take back the nerfs or the buffs that they did last patch. They're not going to take his movement speed away. What I think they're going to take away, or at least lower, is his raw stats, his base stats. They are sort of, I wouldn't say insanely high from what I can tell. They are just, you know, obviously his base stats are high enough that he can get away with playing support and still doing a ridiculous amount of damage, only building bruiserish. Right there, actually, Lucian does save my life with that heal. That was just a misplay on my part, and Lucian came up as a bud, saved my life. Props to him, man. Shout out to, I can't read his name right now, but shout out to him for saving my life there. He was one of the most fun duo partners I've ever had, because as soon as he saw I want to go Ekko support, he went with the Lucian pick, which, with the exception of Karma, they are the only two male black champions in the league. The term African American doesn't sound right there, just because they don't have an Africa or America in their world. I forget I'm blanking on the general name of it. Runeterra. They don't have an African or American in Runeterra, so I guess black would be I don't know. I'm not going to get in on that. But Karma, Guess is actually another one, but these are the only 2 male ones, so he locked that in. He didn't complain once about me being an Ekko support. None of my team said anything. It was really nice just to get into a game, playing, you know, what I wanted to play, where I wanted to play, and not having to fight or debate. Because I actually came in with reasons and arguments for why Ekko support would work and why I was going to try it. And then when nobody complained about it, it was like, hey, that's so nice. Right here we go in for the Dragon Steel. As you can see, Diana was on it for their team. Now she did EC and reconnect every once in a while. But for the most part, this fight's pretty flawless. LeBlanc gets caught up. Or she gets back here, but she almost got caught up there with that charm. That would have been pretty sneaky. Moving on to more important stuff. So my background in League, I started a couple years ago. I don't want to give you guys too in-depth of sort of what my League experience was, but just to basically sum up sort of the order of how things went. When I first started playing, I had no idea what I was doing because I was coming from Call of Duty. So I was used to a reaction-based game versus a strategy-based game. So that was a whole change on its own. But what really sort of started to get me was when I learned about the jungle. I really jumped into the jungle, and Warwick and Master Yi were sort of the first 2 champions I played in the jungle. I didn't really enjoy it. They're pretty farm-heavy champions, so I never really learned how to gank properly, and I never really got good at that until later, until when I really realized I needed to. But I just could not get kills on this champion. You know, Warwick was too ult-dependent, so I didn't like that. And Master Yi, I just kept getting assists. I know it sounds crazy, but I could not get kills with it. So that happened, and so I tried to find a champion. When I transitioned from the jungle to lanes, I decided to pick support, and I started picking up Janna as she was free that week, and I really loved it. I loved her as just like a champion, very cool champion, disengaged queen is what some people say. I argue that to my bias with Nami, but anyways, so I picked up Janna. I just fell in love with support, and so I picked up Annie as she was like one of my favorite champions. So I started playing her support. And it just sort of turned into my first love. I just really started enjoying that support Annie feel. And she just happened to be really big in the meta back then when it was sort of the 3 big supports with Leona, Annie, and Thresh. That wasn't until Elimination brought in the Morgana counter for the Annie. First Elimination. Anyways, the Annie, Leona, Thresh trio bot lane is like... It's such a sweet spot in my heart because Annie countered the Thresh, which just was like everybody's favorite pick at the time. And then I just also learned to despise Leona for that. And I still really don't like Leona's to this day because she has way more CC than Annie and is tanky and can do all these other things that Annie can't. But she doesn't have that's true. She does have a cool flash ult. She's just like the better support version of Annie, and it just really irks me because I really liked Annie in that spot. Anyways, I don't want to get on that. So I really just spammed Annie all the way from like wherever I was, like maybe level 10 to level 30. I mean, that's all I played. I played a couple different champions to learn them, but never really to actually play them in a competitive nature at all. Yeah, so then moving on from that, sort of my champion pool now, I sort of limit after 3 or 4 years of playing, 3 years I believe, I have limited my champion pool down to I wouldn't say handful of champions, sort of takes 2 hands, more like 7 or 8 champions that I really enjoy playing and that I just don't, like they're champions that are just like my favorite champions, also my favorite to play, and sort of my best champions too. And I don't know about you guys, but that's something that's sort of rare. Your favorite gun in Call of Duty being also the best gun for you to use. This is a little bit different because, it's champion-based and personal-based. So, my best champion could be, like, someone like Galio, who's not even in the meta, versus, like, in Call of Duty where the VMP is always in the meta because it's sort of the god gun of the game. Anyways, getting on the off topic. So, my handful of champions, or 2 handful of champions, I'm going to start out, this is in no particular order, but I am going to semi-order it, so... First is like my top 3 favorite champions. Champions that I will always love just because I do love them. I don't know. Right there you could see me dodge the castle by turning around. I did not get stunned on Cass or Diana because I was avoiding the castle. And then this is all just a big chase that almost got me killed. due to some misclicks with my mouse. Anyways, this was just stupidly played. Rek'Sai and I should not have gone this deep. She was sort of just backing me up as a support, and I just trying to dive here. It was dumb. As you can see, I take like 5 turret hits. Anyways, getting back to my 2 handfuls of champions. First 3 are sort of the champions that are just like my favorite champions to play, my favorite champions all together over League of Legends. And that is Nami, Orianna, and Annie. Now, I'm going to straight up say Orianna is my favorite champion. I love her lore, I love her kit, I love her look, not her normal skin look, but all her other skins are awesome. I love her splash art, I just can't stand her in-game normal skin. It just doesn't appeal to me. But I get why she's designed like that and has that look. I get it, I just don't like it. But all the other skins, I love it. She's like literally my favorite champion. I couldn't ask for anything better, except for a real girl Orianna skin. That's the only thing I could ask for more. Anyways, Nami, love her, favorite support. Her bubble, her ebb and flow, her ult, her passive, her E, all of it just gets it done for me. I love it. Definitely my best support right now, and definitely probably my best champion in general, other than maybe Ekko. And then Annie goes up there as my 3rd favorite because she's like my first love, my the sweetheart to the game. And she's just sort of the champion that I fell in love with from day one. That's it. When I saw the champions that they had at the time, Annie was just the one that struck me. But a couple other champions are sort of up there. Obviously Ekko. Ekko and Elise are sort of hand in hand. I never know which one to play. I never know who I should play. I just love them both. I love Ekko. I love Elise. They're both awesome champions. They're both champions I was excited for the minute I saw them in their kits, given that Elise was already released. She had been released for a little while when I started playing this game, so by the time I got my hands on her and started learning her, I sucked on her. For the first like week I played her, but I absolutely loved her. She was the first champion I learned that sort of had the dual forms, where she could switch and have new abilities. So it was a whole thing to get used to that and all that fun stuff. Anyways, moving on from that. Yeah, as soon as I saw Ekko being released and saw his kit, I fell in love with Ekko. He was just like my absolute favorite person to play. And right now in the meta, he's sort of OP as I said earlier, so I really like that. And I like playing him primarily jungle, and that's basically it. Though I can play him mid, top, and support, it's just not the best in the world. Anyways, we basically handily walk over this fight. Ekko's ult's just the coolest thing I've ever seen. It allows for Bruiser Ekko to be a thing. I can go in, I can soak damage, and then I can just ult out. And that's what I love to do. I love to go in, soak all that damage, cause all the mayhem, get the stuns, whatever, and then just simply press R and ult out. And as long as they don't have a crap ton of CC, I'm good to go. And with Zhonya's combined on it, you can make some awesome plays that just make people shake their head like, I should have saw that coming. Anyways, or like the what just happened. And okay, one more thing on Ekko before I move on to the last couple champions I love in League of Legends is how much ground you can cover with just 2 or 3 abilities in this. With a combination of Flash and E, I can get from the bush, I can get from like the river bush to the dragon pit and then back. Or I can like jump into the dragon pit, steal it from like my red buff, and then just ult back to my red buff and be safe. It's such an amazing mechanic, and just the way he works is awesome. Anyways, other champions I love, other than, the Orianna, Annie, Nami, Elise, and Ekko. Lulu's right up there with Orianna, Annie, and Nami. I love her because she's such a good utility mage. She has it all, and she used to be my go-to support for when I just wanted to protect an ADC. Absolutely love her. Ezreal is like my primary ADC. I just love his kit, how he moves about. He's a little annoying as far as like in-game voice and all that. Not really my thing, but he's just generally a very, very cool champion. That's really about it to sum it up. I mean, Elise and Ekko cover really my jungle basis. And then, I got my Orianna, Lulu, Annie, Nami, Ezreal. And I mean, I've been enjoying Kindred a lot. I like to play Gnar sometimes, but those champions aren't really my favorites. Those are just champions I enjoy playing every once in a while. One thing I absolutely love. I do not play her because she's insane to learn, and she's actually in this game. It is LeBlanc. She is one of my favorite champions to be watched played, because she is just such a cunning, devious champion. It's so fun to watch. Someone that knows what they're doing on her Like, I'm sure most people have seen the Civ HD video where he just goes off with LeBlanc doing all the jukes and everything. It's a hilarious video, and that's sort of where my love for LeBlanc came from, just seeing like all the cool things you could do on her. And she was actually my first ranked game champion. I got first blood with her. Very exciting stuff like that. So she does have a place in my heart, but she's not really like my favorite champion overall. Yep. So my video's got a couple minutes left, so I'm going to talk about some just quickly some personal stuff. Sort of why I got into gaming and how I did. You know, I was always into soccer and sports, and one day that was sort of just stolen away from me. Literally, soccer was my life since I was born. Like, from the minute I could walk, my dad had a ball in front of my foot, and I played every day of my life, practiced, loved the sport. It was a passion of mine, and it was something I saw in my future, something I was like the only thing I saw in my future. And right before senior year started, it was sort of torn away from me with due to a blood clot in my sort of ranging from about the soft spot in your chest down to about halfway through my left thigh. The vena cavis, that's at least what they called it when I was in the room, because I couldn't learn all the doctor terms, especially with all the pain meds they were giving me at the time. The vena cava is like the main vein, not that main vein, but the real main vein to bring the blood back from the legs to the heart. And it's a lot of stuff went on with what was going on with that, and actually it was positive. Never got an actual definition for it or an actual reason for why it happened, but basically they said it's all plugged up and that my vein or my body created an alternative system of collateral veins, sort of like if you had like a main highway and then a bunch of mini streets coming off of it that also get you around the same area, if that makes sense. So that type of thing. It sort of took soccer away from me, and it sort of led me into a darker time in my life where I really wasn't sure what I was going to do with my life and what the purpose of my life was. Like, I always thought soccer was that purpose. The thing I didn't realize at the time was that playing soccer wasn't my purpose. It was more coaching. I very much enjoy coaching, and something Nate and I do, we've done for 2 years now, we plan on doing it this year again, is coaching. But more updates on that anyways. So that's basically the gameplay. You guys gotta see a little bit of League of Legends. In the future, I'm gonna have some more Minecraft coming up and some more League of Legends hopefully coming up. But yeah, anyways, later guys. I'm out.